you so much for having us. This is Willie. And we are here today to talk about this quilt that we called Golden Galaxy. I am Aline
Natasha Bugarin.
And we are talking about our show quilts here for you to enjoy, for you to ask whatever you want, and maybe to inspire you to make your own show quilts.
Yeah.
So this is a very special quilt for us, not just because we actually cut holes into it after it was finished, which is a lot of fun. Let's call that. Let's call fun. Yeah. But this is also our last quilt.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So Golden Galaxy measures about 48 per 48 inches. It is kind of square. It has the same, orbit and
aesthetic.
What?
Orbit?
No. Well, the same techniques that we love.
Oh yeah.
So here we have free motion quilting, ruler work, quilting on the grid, thread painting, thread sketching.
And we used very thick cotton thread here. Oh, hand embroidery. There is some also here.
Plus, of course, the holes and that binding with some cords,
Yeah. Our quilts are often very fancy on these edges because we like to experiment this a lot. Yeah. It's not always perfect, but we like how we turned the quilt into something more than just a quilt, It's just this binding that do that.
Yes.
And this was something that we've created very especially for this quilt. And this quilt is one of a kind for us because it's not completely blue in our color.
Not at all.
There is some blue here and here in this turquoise shade that we love, but it's not completely blue or black. So there is two things that we did not do in this quilt, and it has a lot of kind of dimensional work here in the middle. It's like so beautiful how the straight lines come together and really makes this part of the quilt kind of a movement. So strange to see straight lines give movement, but that's exactly what it does here. I think in the camera right now it's not so good to see, but in the close-up video it will be much more fun.
Yes. Yeah. So here, as Aline was saying, we used very different thread colors than we used to use on our quilts, but still the thread is tri-lobo thread as usually. Very common thread,
except for the very thick cotton thread here.
But the quilting itself is tri-lobo, and so we were playing with the colors here. That's why we also have a little bit of thread sketching, thread painting, because we want the colors to pop up, to really stand out. So we made this. You know what? I think my favorite part of this quilting is that feather, because I get this color vinho, which is the name in English.
A very dark red, which names I don't know.
Yes, a very dark red in here with the golden fabric. I thought it was a great combination. And also we have in some points of this quilt, we have the color of the thread very matching to the fabric's color, but it's not one color only. We tried and we used 5 different thread colors to match the fabric,
in different places.
Yes. So here's one color, here's another, that's another, and so on. So it is funny because you have to be very close to notice that, because there are actually different colors to do this blending quilting here.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, so we used pretty intricate.
Say.
You can say.
This is also a different quilting from our usually, quilts, a mandala quilt style, because it is divided into 6 sections, and usually we used 8, but this one we wanted to try, and we did with 6 sections. We really like
Yeah.
it is very nice because it is nice. I like it.
So the design is very intricate with shapes that go around and kind of twist together because of the theme that we chose for this quilt. So it's called Golden Galaxy, but it's actually inspired by a physician that I don't know the name, that mentioned that you can follow, you can search that. So it's a physician that said that science had discovered that when the stars collide, explode in the outer space, it made the actual composition of the earth. So if you have iron in your blood, it's because some star over the sky sometimes in a long time ago explode, and you have actual stardust in your hands, in your body, and the star that is in your left hand is not the same star that you have in your right hand, because it takes a lot of stars to make a planet like planet Earth. So
Lawrence Krauss.
Yes. Yeah, so it was.
He said, the stars die so you can be here today.
Yeah, died. Yeah, so it's so amazing when we saw that physician talking about this, we were so impressed, yeah, by this amazing thing, that everybody is really literally connected by stardust. It's kind of magical thing to say, but it's actual science. So we could not let it go. We could not. I've tried, Natasha tried, but we talked about that every day. We talked about that every opportunity we had. So what we did is was with well, let's do a quilt about it. It doesn't have to be literal, but we can talk about it while we do this quilt. So that's what we did here. So that's why we have this very dark red, because red in a shade that relates to blood is not our thing. We are not into red, actually, but this shade of red, which is really dark, is our representation of that. So that's why things are so intricate, and we have this point here, and here in the middle we have a kind of a crystal shape, maybe like the sparkle of the star, even from a very artistic perspective. So and in this particular areas here, we did this really small scribble so we could make this after we finished the quilt. And we had tried several different designs to put here in this section. Some of them would you know, take more place, take more of this space. One
It would
and
occupy it more.
more.
Yeah.
And the other ones was a little more discreet, like this one. So when we did this little tiny dots, yeah, little tiny dots, we thought this is amazing, this looks like a constellation, again in our imagination, and we did this. So that's why we have this shape here, because when we connect stars in that, you know, constellation maps, they look like this. So that's why we did this, and that's why we have this whole, also the theme. There is something about the unknown, that we cannot touch and we cannot see. So that's what this holes represents. So
Yes.
I think it's that there is some knots here and some very, very, very tiny little cords here, which we loved, and there is some couching with a golden thread that you will be able to see in the on the close-up video.
Yes. So this quilt got, you know, it was finished in October 2018, and it went to every show from AQS in 2019, except for Fall Paducah, because it was submitted to Spring Paducah. So it entered Spring Paducah, Daytona Beach, Grand Rapids, Lancaster, all in 2019. And in Charleston, in 2019, it got third place on the category Wall Quilts Movable Machine. It was very nice. It would go to another shows this year, but they got canceled because they
Of
need
them,
to.
yeah, because of the situation we are
Yeah.
having right now. But the most exciting thing for us about this quilt, of course, after the very, very amazing award that we won in Charleston, is that this quilt was selected to be on the cover of the Spring Paducah official catalog of quilts, the 35th anniversary commemorative edition, with 35 best of show quilts, telling the history of the show. So as this is a very special show, and AQS is a very special organization for us, we were so honored to be able to be among another 8 quilts in the middle of hundreds of quilts, and be able to, you know, be in that cover. That was really, really amazing for us. So if you have this catalog, you have our quilt. So
Sure. So let's take a look at the close-up video. And that's the top. It is a polyester fabric, a golden one. That's the hand embroidery, and
the fabric actually is kind of a shiny, that looks kind of silk, but as we are vegan, we don't use silk, so we use synthetic fabric that have this shiny, you know, aspect.
So again, we have these pebbles going around the quilt. We're loving doing that, so probably it will stick.
These pebbles.
Yeah, turquoise pebbles.
And there's the hand embroidery dots again. It's a simple French knot but we love it so much. There is a lot of free motion quilting on this quilt.
Yeah.
The holes actually stand out with this black fabric.
Yeah.
The pebbles, the feathers, some of the grid work, some of the backgrounds are all free motion quilted. Especially the pebbles, because we want to actually master them. This is the back.
And the fabric is the same.
And this is the back. That
Pretty
thick
much the same.
cotton thread
Yeah.
really makes a difference in this quilt.
Yes.
But the French knots we were able to replicate in the back.
Yeah.
So they are the same in the front and the back of the quilt. There's something that we really like to do, is to make the back as fancy as possible. As near of another whole cloth as we can. So we made this knot in the front and the back, so it have the same look. The only thing we did not
On the back.
on the back, it was this thick cotton thread that we used that is not in the back, so on the back. So
Yeah.
These lines kind of continue this design here. I don't know if it's yeah, it's pretty clear.
And
this design
also here,
yeah,
so it completes this, you know, it came here and then hole and then quilting and then hole and then quilting, hole and quilting. So it made the entire movement by changing, you know, the media.
and that's another, you know, idea that we had because of that space thing, that things that is, maybe it is the same thing but in another dimension, it looks different. So that's why we did it. So everything is connected in this quilt, yes, and we are so happy to share this quilt with you guys, because this is a very, very special quilt for us. It's one of our favorites. Of course, it's the last one we did.
Yeah.
And we have some ideas for the next ones, but as this is the last one,
Not again.
no. as this is the last one, we have a really special love for it. So
Yeah.
if you have seen it, if you wanna ask something, please be more than welcome. And just be like Willy, this cat that owns all over the place and do whatever she wants. Do whatever you want. Ask us, comment, please be more than welcome to join us. And we'll see you. Bye. I am Aline Bugarin.
Natasha Bugarin.
Till next video.
Bye.